But
Hi, welcome to our channel.
I hit dead on with it though. Actually, perfect. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Glock Model 44. For those of you that don't know, the Glock Model 44 is basically just a Glock 19, except for the fact that it is chambered in .22 long rifle. So all of the controls are the same, has the same trigger, same magazine release. Externally, it is 100% just like a Glock 19, except for the chambering. The other difference, the only other difference is also the weight. The overall weight of the gun is a little bit lighter due to the fact that it does have a mostly polymer slide. It does have steel inserts right here, so all the lockup and things like that are steel on steel. But the slide is made of polymer, so that does give it a significantly lighter overall weight. One of the ways that I offset the weight to make it closer to a Glock 19 is I installed a grip plug. Under this grip plug, there is a void here in the grip, and I filled that void with lead weights and then put the grip plug in. So that brought the weight up a couple ounces to make it feel much more like a Glock 19. So the magazines are exactly the same size as far as the dimensions as a Glock 19. They are exactly the same thickness, length, everything is the same. They do hold 10 rounds, and they do have a load assist button right here on the side. This is a reload wrap magazine pouch that is set up for a Glock 19, and you can see that fits in it absolutely perfectly. Another nice thing about it essentially being a Glock 19 as far as exterior dimensions is it'll fit in all of your standard Glock 19 holsters. I've tried this thing in probably a dozen or more different holsters that are made for a Glock 19, and it fits in every single one of them absolutely perfect. Also has your standard accessory rail, so any of your weapon mounted lights, like that Streamlight TLR1 there, will fit on it absolutely good. The Streamlight TLR7 will also fit on it. Let me run the screw out a little bit there. So that fits on it perfect. You can see it there. This is a Elite Force inside the waistband holster. It's made for a Glock 19 with this Streamlight weapon light on it. As you can see, it fits in there absolutely perfect. Doesn't fall out or anything like that. So that's definitely a nice feature about the Glock 44. You know, basically unlimited holster options out there because they're compatible with the Glock 19. Also, another feature is you can replace it with any of your standard Glock sights. Now, it did come with just your standard polymer U-notch rear and white dot front Glock sights. They were adjustable in the rear from the factory, so that was a nice touch, but I still opted to go ahead and change them out with these Ameriglow sights. You can see we've got a nice fiber optic sight there in the front, and then we just got kind of a standard notch style sight in the rear. These are steel sights, and I know some people were worried about putting steel sights onto the polymer slide. I personally didn't have any problem. I put these sights on there the day I bought the gun, and I've had them on there ever since. Haven't had a bit of problem at all. As far as reliability is concerned, I purchased this gun at the end of January of 2020. The way these come out of the box, they come with 2 additional magazines. When I ordered this gun and had it shipped to my FFL, I went ahead and also picked up 2 additional mags. So since the day I originally purchased this firearm, I've been shooting all 4 of these magazines. With that said, I now have 7,500 rounds through this gun and absolutely no problems. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean that I haven't had malfunctions. Most of you probably know when it comes to 22s, that's just the name of the game. The best of the best, you're still going to have malfunctions. Ammo plays a big part in that. They're only going to be as reliable as the ammo you feed them. So if you feed them, you know, really crappy, cheap ammo, they're not going to be as reliable as they are with higher quality ammo. So I've shot Remington Thunderbolts, Remington Gold Bullets, CCI Stingers, CCI Velocitors, mini mags. I've shot the CCI Blazers, Federal bulk, basically of any kind I could get. 36 grain, 38 grain, 40 grain. I've shot Aguilas, I've shot Winchester Wildcats, and it's been reliable with all of them. That's not to say that I haven't had malfunctions, but I would say 99.9% of the malfunctions I've had have been ammo related. So for the most part, I would say this thing has been extremely reliable as any 22 that I've ever seen. So let me quickly take this thing apart and show you the inside. We'll move the magazines to the side. Obviously there's no magazine in the gun. Lock it to the rear, nothing in the chamber. We'll point it in a safe direction and click. So I don't really see any odd wear going on the lower. It just looks like a really dirty Glock lower. This thing probably hasn't been cleaned in, I'd say, 700 or 800 rounds, something like that. So there is the barrel. You can see a little bit of wear marks on there, but I don't really see any problem with that. I think that's just kind of normal wear and tear. Same thing goes for the slide. You can see it's a little bit of shiny here, but you know, just looks like normal wear and tear to me. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Honestly, all the wear patterns that I see going on, they look exactly the same way they did after I fired the first few hundred rounds through this gun. So like I said, at this point it has over 7,000 rounds through it, and I really don't see any other wear points starting to show up. So let me go ahead and throw this thing back together. And there we are, all back together. All in all, I've been very pleased with the Glock 44. I know some people had some complaints when they first came out about reliability. I can't really speak for them. I only have a sample set of one, but this particular Glock 44 has been extremely reliable. You know, as far as 22 trainers go, I think this one is kind of at the top of the list in my personal opinion. There's definitely some other options out there. You know, the Taurus TX22 is a good option. Smith & Wesson M&P Compact. You know, there's a whole bunch of other good 22 trainers, but if you shoot Glocks and you like Glocks and you're familiar with Glocks, I don't think you could possibly get a better Glock trainer than the Glock 44. So with that said, 7,500 rounds later, and this thing is still going strong. If I do have any problems with this thing, I'll definitely come back and make a follow-up video and let you guys know. You know, just like with some of my other 22 trainers, I will eventually shoot this gun to the failure point. And that's not any problem with the gun. That's just the fact that I'm putting a excessive amount of rounds through it. So when I find where that failure point is, whether it's 10, 20,000 rounds or whatever, I'll definitely come back and let you guys know. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you're not following me on Instagram, I would really appreciate if you would do that. If you have any questions you want to ask me directly, that is the best place to do so. And as always, thanks for watching. it.